Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Secretary, I'll just jump right in with first a question about Saudi Arabia. In my judgment, you and the President have made a series of extremely principled decisions in our national interest to rebalance our relationship with Saudi Arabia. On the other side, you know, there are always people who express concern that if we push back on the misbehavior of a partner, we'll be pushing them away, hurt our relationship. Of course, there are those who say, oh, the Saudis can turn to the Russians or the Chinese. I just want to set the record straight on this. If an adversary like Iran were to attack Saudi Arabia or the Persian Gulf, would Russia or China come to their defense?
Unlikely.
Yes. So we are the country that guarantees security in the Persian Gulf, and the Saudis, the Emiratis, the Bahrainis, they know this. Right. That's good. So that brings me to the Khashoggi case, where there's still, I think, a little bit of a lack of clarity. There's a law, Section 7031 of the Consolidated Appropriations Act, that says officials of foreign governments about whom the Secretary of State, you, has credible information have been involved in a gross violation of human rights shall be ineligible for entry into the United States. And under this law, you have the authority to waive that prohibition in a specific case. If it serves the national interest, then you have to report that to the U.S. Congress. Now, clearly you have credible information with respect to the Crown Prince MBS being responsible for the murder of Mr. Khashoggi. So I just want to ask you, have you issued a waiver under 7031 for MBS?
Let me say a couple of things about this and answer your question. First, it's important to focus on what we did. And to start, as you very rightly put it, the President was determined that we would review and ultimately recalibrate our relationship with Saudi Arabia to make sure that it was actually advancing our interests and our values, because I think we'd gotten away from that. And that's exactly what we've done. We did that in getting out of support for the offensive operations and campaign in Yemen, led by the Saudis, and we suspended, as you know, certain arms sales to them. And in addition, we are now focused on the diplomacy of trying to end the war in Yemen and end one of the worst, possibly the worst, and that's saying something, humanitarian crises in the world. We've been very clear and outspoken as well about our expectations of our Saudi partner when it comes to human rights. And at the same time, we've also been clear that we're committed to Saudi Arabia's defense if it is on the receiving end of aggression. That hasn't changed. But when it comes to Mr. Khashoggi, let me just say simply, one, we will follow the law. Two, as you know, for privacy reasons, that's something we can't discuss in any detail in this setting. I'd be happy to follow up. And three, I think it's fair to say that the Crown Prince has no plans to come to the United States.